We all know that as Russia invaded Ukraine, Elon Musk responded immediately when contacted by the Ukrainian digital minister and asked to send Starlink systems. And did you know that it is said right after Elon Musk destroyed a Russian war satellite, this will happen next? Want to learn more about it? Stay tuned until the end. Welcome to Elon Musk Era. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel to stay updated on our upcoming videos about Elon Musk, Tesla, SpaceX, and more. Creating something new in the world that will save the world is something that people have always looked up to Elon Musk for. And people around the world are hoping to launch something that will shock Russian spy satellites during times of war between Ukraine and Russia. Obviously, Musk didn't disappoint once again. Right now, he is developing a satellite melter that would destroy an enemy satellite in just a few seconds. We're gonna go over the Gladiator satellite that can melt other satellites in this video. Alright, let's get started. The United States Air Force's ability to launch satellites with SpaceX is just the beginning of a process that will lead to a complete overhaul of how the armed forces operate in space. Clearly, Air Force officials want the service to respond more rapidly to emerging threats and future missions in space. Furthermore, the service seeks out entrepreneurial ventures that are far-reaching in their plans. Having a sense that America is losing its place as the world leader in space is one way to confront this issue. Therefore, cyber and missile warfare protection systems are designed to keep our satellites and spacecraft safe. We believe that this is important during wartime or when a national emergency occurs. Several functions could have interfered with space weapons, including navigation, surveillance, communication, and other functions. The occurrence of this change is noteworthy because lawmakers and the Department of Defense are already accorded a greater level of attention and a greater amount of money in the years to come for space missions. And one of its primary responsibilities is developing funding programs for new satellites and rockets that can be used against potential adversaries, such as Russia, who are practicing their space technology. Space threats and challenges have become more complicated now and move much faster. Meanwhile, Musk said that they are developing ways to go fast because they recognize the need. Nevertheless, there is no denying that with more and more countries developing sophisticated rocketry and cyber capabilities, it becomes increasingly difficult to defend critical military systems that provide intelligence, communications, navigations, and targeting capabilities to air, ground, and sea forces. As a result, satellites such as those of Russia or China would most likely be targeted first in a war involving a sophisticated adversary such as these. Aside from this, several countries, including the United States, have successfully tested anti-satellite that are capable of destroying satellites in orbit. In addition to cyber vulnerabilities, military officials have expressed concern that hostile parties could exploit them by jamming satellite transmissions or otherwise destroying space assets remotely. Also, SpaceX's CEO, Elon Musk, stated that our world is experiencing a time when space is more contested than ever. During the remarks, Musk suggested that a separate space force might be formed within the Department of Defense, and he commented on trends. According to the Pentagon, the military must improve its space defense and warfare capabilities. Furthermore, bringing hardware and software faster and more cost-effectively through technology startups is a way to go beyond traditional supply chains, where rockets and satellites take years to develop, and Elon Musk is well positioned to contribute in this venture. The aerospace company, SpaceX, controlled and well operated by Musk, now plans to develop a satellite that's not just a typical artificial satellite, but also a Terminator satellite. Further, Musk explained that it is an opportunity to connect with those US officials and find out what new and better resources they can provide to the Air Force, which can allow it to be more effective. And according to him, as far as working with the military is concerned, there is a lot of openness in their part. In addition, they are under pressure to operate in space and on a budget, and the government faces increasing budgetary pressure. With this, it is also an attractive proposition. Nevertheless, the question remains, what exactly are they doing in space? Let's say they want to take out all of the enemy satellites they can by melting them. Currently, Musk is developing a satellite that can detect and track an opponent's defense satellites. Furthermore, it can be argued that such a move would work because a beam of sunlight reflected by it would be directed onto an enemy satellite, which in over several weeks would be heated sufficiently. In other words, it burns up as soon as it re-enters the stratosphere upon falling out of orbit. Meanwhile, according to an online publication, Breaking Defense, The US military officials are assessing the feasibility of publicly demonstrating a new space weapon capability. According to reports, senior military figures, such as John Hyten, vice chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, discussed the possibility of showcasing a secret space weapon with a demonstration of its capabilities. Additionally, as part of a highly classified program, a weapon system whose details are still unknown is being developed through a special access program. In addition, the US military aims to deter foreign threats from attacking their satellites when military chiefs publicly demonstrate a weapon. In their opinion, the knowledge of the weapon's existence would be likely to discourage foreigners from approaching satellites. It would also discourage them from attempting to disable them, since they would be pointless in their attack. Further, Musk explained that this would be a way for the Department of Defense to say, actually, their satellites are not as vulnerable as they once thought. They actually have ways to defend themselves. Meanwhile, it is unclear whether the upcoming United States capability will be located in ground or in space, and Musk says that the weapon system might fit into one of the following three categories. First, a mobile laser has been developed to blind adversary reconnaissance satellites from the ground. Then, the military deployed proximity-triggered radio frequency jammers aboard its satellites. And third, a very powerful microwave system that can zap electronics is carried on bodyguard satellites. Also, at a time when government officials in the US have been increasingly talking about the war in space as a possible battlefield, the announcement of this new weapon is timely. Further, as a result of the militarization of space cited by the Trump administration to justify the creation of the Space Force, some form of conflict is likely to occur in space. Moreover, it is further explained that melt-cast explosives can emit time-controlled steady explosions rather than destroying the satellite. Also, the device can be locked in the satellite by using a locking mechanism powered by an electric motor. By using this feature, the device can stay inside the satellite for far longer durations. Aside from this, Musk explained that the target might need to be separated from the process if the process needs to be reversed. Moreover, Musk has designed and developed ground-based laser weapons capable of blinding or damaging passing satellites. However, the problem is that these weapons are fairly easy to detect. Thus, to target satellites, Musk placed explosives inside them instead of the satellites themselves. Then, aside from the explosives, the device also includes a bullet-shaped exploding detonator that weighs just 3.5 kilograms and is similar to the Delaval nozzle that powers more than 90% of satellites. Further, this type of pipe converts gas into kinetic energy by having a narrow throat in the middle. Some of the most advanced satellites in the world still use pipes that stem from a design by Swedish engineer Carl Gustaf Patrik de Laval in the 19th century. Essentially, Musk's nozzle is built by putting a rod through the narrowest point, and the rod opens to form a stabilizer that could be locked into place with the inner wall of the nozzle to anchor itself. Meanwhile, a space scientist not involved with the project believes that after the device has been detonated, part of the explosion will be contained inside the nozzle, and it will appear as a nozzle failure. In his explanation of how the heat of the explosion can be converted into kinetic energy, Musk explained that the inside of satellites can suffer damage while the structure remains intact. Further, he said that the melt-cast explosive they used was extensively used in China's space program to separate rocket stages, among other applications. Along with increasing anti-satellite capabilities, some nations are also exploring space-based weapons in 2019, and these include the USA, China, Russia, and India. Then, French officials have announced plans to examine concepts that include a swarm of nano-satellites monitoring the area around the French satellites. Additionally, snooping satellites could be blinded by ground-based laser systems and possibly even be protected by onboard machine guns. According to Musk, it signals that the space is becoming like other domains where a mix of civil, commercial, and military activities will take place. What are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below, and thank you for watching. If you would like to receive updates on Elon Musk and his companies, make sure you click the subscribe and bell button.